Video is inspired by Bone Wizard's recent video on Paladin, and I want to give my take on the topic. In summary, Bone Wizard is dissatisfied with the impious Paladin as represented by D&D 5e, and I would like to defend it. Bone Wizard answers, how does a non-magical person grant themselves magic? And I answer, that person was never truly non-magical, because the world of D&D is fundamentally different from ours. In this world, seemingly non-magical things have the potential to enact magic. For example, an ordinary gem can bring back to life. An ordinary piece of copper wire can send a silent message up to 120 feet, and this world responds to the thoughts and feelings of the people in it. The blood of an ordinary person can be used in a ritual to produce magical effects in this world. So clearly, the seemingly ordinary people are not as ordinary as the people in the real world. Thereby, their potential for magic is not gifted to them by higher powers. One claims that even if an invisible force or entity is allowing people to become paladins, that thing is still a god, and that is incorrect. Temperature allows water to become ice. Temperature is not a god. Gravity drags items to the ground. Gravity is not a god. In the world of D&D, there are forces that do not exist in the real world, like the weave, shadow weave, and other planes of existence. There is likely a force that allows people to become paladins. We do not have a name for that force, but that force is not a god by default. It could just be something akin to temperature or gravity. Person A says, I listen to hymns in the morning so that my higher power is with me and I feel safe. Person B says, I listen to pop music in the morning to regulate my nervous system. Does not matter if the music was secular or religious, the ritual of listening to music can be calming. And I think that's what's happening with the secular paladin. They are doing rituals akin to the religious paladins and receiving similar effects. Let's remember, a paladin's oath is not just a slogan plus strong emotions, it includes stricture. There are things a paladin of an oath must abstain from and must embody. It's one thing to have a strong moral compass, and it's another to do monastic training to shield yourself from temptation. And a secular person is capable of doing that training. And that is the answer to why some devoted people do not cultivate paladin-like abilities. They either need further training or there is some gap in their way of life. So this isn't inconsistent or breaking world rules like Bone Wizard suggests. In this world, people develop magical abilities by living in harmony with nature and studying the forces of the universe. Neither of those two routes involve gods. There are also people who develop supernatural abilities by learning martial arts. So it's not ridiculous to suggest that a person can develop paladin-like abilities from studying philosophy or living by certain strictures. I will not deny that the world building of D&D is flippant at times, but in my opinion, the secular paladin is not an example of that. I would point to how the distinction made between the magical classes is meaningless. The cleric and paladin were defined as the divine casters, but pause, wait, warlock can be a divine caster, sorcerer can be a divine caster. There were even plans to make a wizard divine caster. So it kind of just further blurs the lines of how magic works in this world. And Bone Wizard actually made a funny video about this, and you can go check it out.